Previously on Scooter Tube.
Yeah. I bet it wasn't obvious that I like doing spontaneous things when it comes to my hair and or beard. Jesus Christ, I need a shave now that I'm thinking about it as well. What? SpongeBob. We all know what SpongeBob is. The story of the little itty bitty fry cook little pipsqueak who just wants to work at his job, the little bitty Krusty Krab, and make all the itty bitty sea critters happy. We know what SpongeBob is, and we all know that the most generic thing to say about SpongeBob is that everything started going downhill after the first movie came out in 2004. That's when the creator left, etc, etc. So that's when stuff started going to shit. Which it kinda made sense, I guess, with the movie canonically, like around the entire SpongeBob lore and adventure and everything, is supposed to be the finale. But for some reason, it's not, and it's still going. Why is that? It's money. The point of this video is to explain why SpongeBob is still going on, why I love SpongeBob, and why I kinda hate it now. And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that for some reason the Nickelodeon Twitter decided to confirm that he's gay.
Spongebob Squarepants, a wonderful show created by Steven Hillenburg, debuted in 1999 on Nickelodeon with its first ever episode consisting of 3 segments: Help Wanted, Reef Blower, and Tree at the Tree Dome. Right from the get-go, the premiere was met with overwhelming success, with almost 7 million people tuning in for the first episode of Spongebob Squarepants. According to the Chicago Tribune article that was posted in 2002, it states, "In the last year, Spongebob Squarepants had become the #1 kids show, kicking the biggest show at the time, Rugrats. But having this strong of a first season, how long could this success story last?"
Nickelodeon had us exactly where they wanted us. They could put SpongeBob on any form of a platter and we'd eat it even out of the palm of their hands. So you know what? That's exactly what they did.
In an article with New York Times in 2004, Tom Kenny stated that Steven Hillenburg resisted pressure from Paramount and Nickelodeon to create a SpongeBob movie for over a year, until he finally agreed to embark on this ambitious idea, which this idea did better than anyone could ever expect for. With a box office return of over $140 million, SpongeBob has become such a success story and so brandable not only in America, but on a worldwide scale, that it's bound to never end, at least not in the foreseeable future.
After the release of the movie, Hillenburg wanted the show to end. But obviously it didn't, because we're here now in 2020, and this happened in 2004. So he decided to do the next best thing. He decided to step down from being on the writing and storyboard team for the SpongeBob show. This is where a lot of people say the dark ages of SpongeBob occurred, where from like 2004 or 5 until 2014, it just wasn't the same. The creator wasn't technically a part of the show anymore, wasn't contributing that much to the writing or storyboarding. Yes, he was still the executive producer, but that was it. And I said until 2014 because Hillenburg returned to SpongeBob for the second movie and afterwards got re-rejuvenated with some SpongeBob magic and returned to the team to work on some later seasons of SpongeBob. And this is where people say the renaissance of SpongeBob occurred, where it started becoming good again. Now people are saying the show is more cartoonish, it's more bouncy, it's more fluid. It's everything that the dark ages of SpongeBob weren't. Around that time, people were saying that the show was losing its essence, losing what it was. It was becoming something it wasn't. And in some episodes, they took some people's personalities and turned them all the way up to 11. And in others, they turned them down to a nice 2. Maybe it's because I was a kid at the time, but from the premiere all the way until the second movie came out in 2014, I loved SpongeBob. I loved almost every episode, even some of the episodes that I probably shouldn't like that fucking weird bubble virus thing, the fungus thing. I hate that episode. Hate that episode even when it came out, still hate it to this day. Even if there were some flaws here and there, and Patrick and SpongeBob are a whole lot dumber now. and there were a lot more quotables like pre the first movie that there just aren't many in these current like dark ages of SpongeBob. I don't know, some episodes are still just fantastic. They just give you those giggles. Like, you can't explain it, they just give you those crazy, those itty bitty kitty giggles. Do you want to talk about things I hate now? One of the things I very much hate are the new episodes. Now the new episodes start coming out, which I'm referring to is after the second movie, which is around the time where people say the Renaissance of SpongeBob took place. I don't know, there's just something about these newer episodes that I can't really get into. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because I'm older, or I don't know, maybe I'm just not into SpongeBob anymore, or maybe it's because, I don't know, most of the ideas for SpongeBob have already been done. Like, we're looking at a show that should have ended a long time ago at this point, right? You agree with me, right? But obviously, that's not the only thing I dislike about SpongeBob. After Steven Hillenburg's death in 2018, may he rest in peace, there was some interesting news that came out about a year after that happened. Some news stating Netflix and Nickelodeon, or their parent company Viacom or whatever, gathered up a pretty interesting multi-year deal, where it said that Nickelodeon was not only going to make some original content for Netflix, but they were going to put a lot of their older shows on there as well. This is a good thing, right? Of course, this has to be a good thing, right? Some of that said original content happens to include some interesting things about SpongeBob. It happens to include a Squidward spin-off musical. And it also happens to include a Patrick Show spin-off. Yay. And there's already been some exclusive news to come out with Patrick's voice actor stating that his lines have already been done. His lines are already done. They just gotta finish the show now. That's really it. So that's definitely on the way. So, what could these shows possibly do that an episode, or maybe even a couple specials centered on these characters on SpongeBob couldn't? It genuinely makes no sense why they would do this besides the obvious money. But I would assume at the same time that they're gonna have to market this as SpongeBob as well, right? Because if a show's just called Squidward's Musical or the Patrick Star Show, which is going to be what that's called, that is what the article said. That's what the article said it was going to be called. If they call those shows that, how are some kids that may only know SpongeBob based off of the title, not necessarily know the characters' names, know that that's what this is, that this is SpongeBob? Well, it's just simple marketing, so why not just call it SpongeBob? Why not just call it like SpongeBob, a SpongeBob Special, Squidward's Musical, or a SpongeBob Special 2, The Patrick Star Show, or something like that? It's as simple as that. Just call it that. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but maybe I'm just being a dick. Who knows? But I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't like it. The creator is dead. I know that Nickelodeon and Viacom technically own the rights for SpongeBob, but this show has been going on for nearly 21 years at this point. It doesn't need anything else really. Just let it live on. Just put all the shows up on Netflix. That'd gather a fuck ton of views from there. That's all you need to do, really. Like, that's literally it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm not gonna go on a rant. I'm definitely not gonna go on a rant about this because this doesn't deserve a rant for how they treat SpongeBob. That they're milking it dry. SpongeBob is dry. He's a fucking skeleton at this point. The show is a fucking skeleton at this point, guys. But yeah, that's basically it. Special thanks to the homie Skrillydee for providing some very nice voices for the little feature that he did at the beginning. Love you, guy. Go check out his channel or Scooch. I don't really care which. Bye. Bye.